Mark Halperin starts us off tonight, former political director for ABC News, the founder now of Two-Way. You can find it on Twitter. It's one of the best and most important political conversations happening every day. Mark, good to see you. It was interesting. You predicted the Trump grievance fest rather than press conference that had been promised. And I'm wondering if you were sort of channeling that Donald Trump has an inability at these moments to talk about the things that, if it defined the election, like the economy, he would win.
Well, he certainly has a pronounced inability to do that. He certainly has a love for grievance. But what caused me to predict that this morning is the Kamala Harris fundraising numbers. You pointed out with your excellent graphic that his poll numbers, his political support has risen when lawfare has been front and center. But so is the fundraising. And right now, the fundraising is something Donald Trump's always concerned about. But these numbers that your excellent team has thrown up, these numbers are scary to him because his liberty is at stake. And she now has not just an advantage that's manageable, but an advantage that's meaningful. And so I think what he was trying to do today, and I'll be curious, I've been asking the campaign, haven't heard back yet, did that 45-minute grievance fest with no questions from reporters, despite billing it as a press conference to lure us all to Trump Tower, did that make the cash register boom?
It's fascinating, and whether or not he raised money. And the grievance fest is useful for his base. I listened to most of it, and I only got, I think, 2 or 3 sentences about the economy. Do we know yet what defines the 2024 election, or what electorate, suburban women, white working class men, black females, is going to be the thing we're all talking about on election night?
Yeah. I mean, if you were to pick a thing, I think you'd pick white men without college degrees. I think they may decide the election as much as any other group, but in a close election, lots of groups do. What I think the election about, and you saw this in the CNN poll the other day, is who's mainstream and who's dangerous, right? The whole theory of the Trump case is Harris's positions, particularly from her presidential campaign, were dangerous. You know, banning things, banning straws, dangerous. Medicare for all, dangerous. Abolishing ICE, dangerous. The CNN poll of voters in the battleground states said she's less dangerous than Trump. She's mainstream. He's the dangerous one. So if you wanted to pick what this is about, it's about who can define the other one themselves as mainstream and the other one as dangerous and out of the mainstream.
You're the best source guy in politics. I keep saying that. Game Change and Double Down, the 2 books you wrote, are one of the reasons I got into political coverage, because I loved it so much. What are your sources saying, especially inside the Harris campaign, about how they are going to try and define that and also defend from Trump's attacks during the debate?
Well, you saw a big preview of it during the convention, right? It wasn't about what her ideas were, including in her own speech. Vice President Harris talked about an American story so that biographically and in terms of vibes, people see her as part of the American story, not exotic, not a socialist, not outside, I'll say the word again, the mainstream. And so I think what you're going to see in the debate is her attempt to paint Donald Trump as weird, right? Her focus is less on Trump as dangerous, although she doesn't shy away from that. But Joe Biden was all about Charlottesville, all about January 6th, all about election denialism. She's about those things in the context of he's outside the mainstream and weird. And I think that's what you're going to see her do. She's going to try to make him seem small, weird, old, past his prime, not what America wants for another 4 years.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.